In the WKYX WNGO newsroom, I'm Bill Hughes. A 17-year-old Mayfield High School student has been killed and his mother has been kidnapped. According to the Graves County Sheriff's Department, the incident happened this morning at 411 Fairlane Drive in Mayfield, where the teen was killed, and police say 34-year-old Kim Thomas was kidnapped by an ex-boyfriend, 40-year-old Terry Froman of Brookport, Illinois. The couple was last seen in Paducah in a 2004 white GMC Yukon with an Illinois license plate that reads TRICKE and the number 1. It was last seen at a 5-star convenience store in Paducah where the woman apparently tried to get away, but the man dragged her back into the vehicle. Mayfield High School has been notified that one of their students has been killed, and counselors are being made available for students. Police are asking for anyone who has seen the vehicle or these people to call state police or local law enforcement. Police say no one should approach them since the man is considered armed and very dangerous. The investigation is obviously continuing, and we will have more details as soon as they are made available. On the national scene, Secretary of State John Kerry is trying to rally 10 Arab nations to support the fight against ISIS, part of a growing coalition that will be led by a retired U.S. general. Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern has more from the White House.
Retired Marine General John Allen will lead the broad international effort to fight ISIS, charged with figuring out what role nearly 40 nations will play. Allen has been serving as an advisor to Secretary of State John Kerry. Previously, the general was a deputy commander in Iraq and at CENTCOM, overseeing military actions across the Middle East and North Africa. U.S. military action will be led by General Lloyd Austin. As many as 31,500 fighters could make up the ranks of ISIS, a CIA assessment tripling an earlier estimate. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio.
Are more jobs causing more retail spending? It looks like it. Fox News Radio's Steve Taylor reports from Washington.
Since early winter, American employers have been adding jobs at a healthy pace, and now it seems the newly working are spending. The Commerce Department says retail sales are up 0.6% in the latest monthly numbers covering August. That increase is double the July increase. Over the last year, retail sales are up a full 5%. The biggest gains this month are in auto sales, plus furniture, electronics, sporting goods, and building materials. In Washington, Steve Taylor, Fox News Radio.
A country music legend was arrested in Nashville around 1 this morning. Lynn Anderson, who won the Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance in 1970, was arrested on a DUI charge. It all began with a traffic accident on West End Avenue in Nashville. Nashville police are saying Anderson admitted to drinking alcohol and taking prescription medication before the crash, which happened around 9 p.m. near 31st Avenue. In 2004, Anderson was arrested for passing out in her car on the side of an interstate. She has checked herself into the Betty Ford Clinic in the past. Governor Steve Beshear has appointed a task force to study bullying and how to stop it, and one member is from our area. Tom Latek reports.
The panel includes 11-year-old Morgan Guess of Paducah, who says she was diagnosed with clinical depression after being bullied.
3 years ago, when I was just 8 years old, I was bullied by a classmate. She pulled my hair, pinched me on the back of the neck, and even threw her shoulder into my back.
The governor says the Kentucky Youth Bullying Prevention Task Force, of which Morgan is a member, will study the issue and recommend practices and policies on how to respond to the problem and prevent it. Tom Latek, KNN News.
A Paducah woman has been arrested after an investigation into stolen checks. The McCracken County Sheriff's Department says an investigation began on September 8th when a victim reported 4 checks were taken from a checkbook at their Farley home and cashed. Detectives say the checks were taken by 41-year-old Merlin Kelly, who allegedly wrote the checks to herself and made them appear they were for work she performed. She had been working as a sitter for the family. The total amount of the forged checks was $600. Detectives say Kelly confessed to taking the checks during an interview. She's now in McCracken County Jail. And authorities in Pulaski County, Kentucky say they've arrested 2 drunk lawnmower drivers in the same week.
Randy Whitaker allegedly drove his lawnmower all over the road after drinking 30 beers. And Sheriff's Lieutenant Brett Whitaker says Gary Ard rode his lawnmower in a Hardee's drive-through lane.
He admitted to deputies when they stopped him that he had been drinking that morning, but decided to go to Hardee's to get something to eat.
In Kentucky, it's illegal to operate any motorized vehicle while under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Paul Miles, KNN News.
Find more news later right here or anytime at westkentuckystar.com. In the WKYX WNGO newsroom, I'm Bill Hughes. The old Ledbetter Bridge is in bad enough shape to cause river traffic to be halted, but officials on the scene have ideas on why it shifted on the McCracken County Bank. Tim Brockwell is there.
Hi, Bill. I spoke to bridge engineer Harold Gibson at the scene. He told me the bank has shifted about 4 feet on the McCracken side of the bridge. He also said one of the piers has been deflected about 6 to 8 feet from where it should be. Just looking at the bridge, you can see the buckled guardrails and the cracked concrete, and engineers say the bridge is, in fact, in danger of collapse on the McCracken County side, at least. No river traffic is being allowed under the bridge, and area residents, we've also learned, along the bank have been advised by the Sheriff's Department to report any shift in the bank that they might see. Of course, road traffic no longer uses the bridge, so that isn't a concern, but there's no word yet on just how long river traffic will have to detour. Reporting live from the old Ledbetter Bridge, I'm Tim Brockwell.
Thanks, Tim. We'll have more on that through the afternoon. The driver of a Callaway County school bus was injured this morning in a crash. The Callaway County Sheriff's Department said the accident happened about 6:50 a.m. on Radio Road near Dexter. The driver of the bus, 49-year-old Terry Swift of Murray, had just started her route and there were no children on board. Swift told deputies that a deer ran into the path of the bus and she swerved to miss it, and the bus dropped off the right side of the road. She overcorrected and the bus crossed the opposite lane of travel and came to stop on its side in a ditch. Swift was taken to the Murray-Callaway County Hospital by the Callaway County Ambulance Service for treatment of her injuries. A teenager faces assault charges after an altercation with his grandfather.
According to the McCracken County Sheriff's Department, at around 8:30 Thursday evening, deputies responded to a domestic violence call on Oaks Road. Their investigation determined that an 18-year-old Austin Sharp had assaulted his grandfather, 64-year-old Jackie Blassingen. After an hour search, they found Sharp and arrested him without incident. Mr. Blassingen was transported to Lourdes ER, treated and released.
That's Matt McLean reporting. A Paducah resident is using social media to get the word out about what she describes as a horrifying encounter with police, but police say they were just following procedure. Here's Tim Brockwell.
Wendy Kester and her husband Cliff were driving near the 100 block of Lone Oak Road Tuesday evening when they were stopped by Paducah police officers and McCracken County Sheriff's deputies. They did meet with the Kesters to discuss the traffic stop. Barnhill said an internal review of the incident is being conducted. I'm Tim Brockwell.
In the WKYX WNGO newsroom, I'm Bill Hughes. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says gridlock could become a thing of the past as he plans to get bills moving through the upper chamber. McConnell pledging to find common ground with President Obama in an effort to pass legislation, but warns all his members to be prepared to roll up their sleeves.
The American people have changed the Senate. So I think we have an obligation to change the behavior of the Senate and to begin to function again. That doesn't guarantee that the president's going to agree with everything we do, but we're going to go back to work.
McConnell also pledged there would be no shutdowns of the government and no defaults on the nation's debt. McConnell defeated Democratic challenger Allison Lundgren Grimes 56.2% to 40.7%. In other election results, Republican U.S. Representative Ed Whitfield has won re-election to an 11th term in Kentucky's 1st Congressional District. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois defeated Republican State Senator Jim Oberweis to win a 4th term. And Illinois has a new governor. Bruce Rauner defeated incumbent Governor Pat Quinn with nearly 51% of the vote. In local election results, Republican Danny Carroll defeated Democrat Jeff Parker in the Kentucky State Senate race. Democrat Gerald Watkins beat Republican Randy Bridges in the State House 3rd District. And Bob Leeper, an independent, is the new McCracken County Judge Executive, narrowly defeating Jeff Hines. In one of the closest races this year, Democrat Julie Griggs defeated Republican Becky Bowers by only 149 votes to become the new McCracken County Court Clerk. For a complete list of election results, check out westkentuckystar.com.